What's going on YouTube, and welcome back to the Eclectic Mechanics Workshop. In today's video we're going to be showing you guys some fun ways to improve your power and your gas mileage on your vehicle using a couple of different products. We're going to be using Seafoam motor treatment, Seafoam engine spray, some CRC mass airflow sensor cleaner, and throttle body cleaner. And I am actually going to be cleaning the K&N filter on my Ford Ranger, but I'm also going to be doing this on my wife's quirky violinist, follow her on Instagram, 2010 Ford Focus. Let's show you what we're getting into. So the first vehicle we'll be working on is my wife's 2010 Ford Focus. First thing you're going to want to do is you're going to want to remove the negative terminal from the battery, just to make sure that nothing happens, because this is an electronically controlled throttle body. So you're always going to want to make sure that this is disconnected so you don't accidentally have the throttle body snap shut on your fingers. Next, we're going to start with the mass airflow sensor. First, you're going to need a Torx bit to remove it. So this is the fully open Ford mass airflow sensor, and this is on both my pickup and my wife's Ford Focus. And with this, you're going to have a shiny metallic side, and you're going to have a black plastic side. Now, neither of those are the hot wires of this particular mass airflow sensor. If you turn it on its side right here, it's going to be kind of hard to see, but actually there it is, right there. Those are the hot wires that actually tell the airflow sensor how much air is coming through, and that is what we're going to clean. And so for that, we're going to need our CRC Masso airflow sensor cleaner, and that is just a little tear from the tape that came off of it. We're going to point the straw right at those and give them a few sprays. It says on the instructions to place 10 to 15 sprays right on the wires themselves, and so we're going to go ahead and do that right now. And there we have it. Now we'll let it dry. So for the next part, now we're going to remove the K&N cold air intake system, these two bands, and then we're going to pop off these 5/16 nut bolts right here. Let's get to it. Alrighty, we got the throttle body off, and let me tell you, this is just the front side of it, and it's looking pretty dirty. Let's have a look at the back side. Wow, that is nasty. That is all carbon and soot and grime buildup on there, and let me tell you, that's not supposed to be there. Let's go ahead and get this thing cleaned up. This is going to be a huge difference, and cleaning this off will make an enormous difference in your gas mileage, because when the throttle opens up like that, this will allow more free airflow through that throttle body and make for much more even airflow, and it's going to get you some better mileage. Let's get to it. For this part, we're going to be using this plastic bristle brush. We're going to be using the throttle body cleaner by CRC, and we're going to lay into this thing nice and thick so we can get all this nasty black off there. Well, there you have it. What a enormous difference. You can actually see the throttle plate now. Look at this mountain of dirt and of dirty paper towels I have here. That was all just drip off that came out of the throttle body itself. That little toothbrush, that little poly toothbrush was gray. It was like a grayish white when I started it with it. That throttle body was filthy, and that is going to contribute to a pretty significant loss in fuel mileage. I believe that this little car gets about 35.6 miles per gallon on, or at least average, when we just filled it up. I think this might actually bump it close to 40. This was horrendously filthy and in dire need of a cleaning. I cannot wait to share the results with you guys on how much of a difference this makes. But I'm certain that the throttle body was more of a culprit than the mass airflow sensor, but we're gonna find out. We will keep you guys posted. So before I put the body back on to the air intake, I'm gonna go ahead and spray down this little blue O-ring right here, just to make sure it's nice and clean and that no extra dirt gets in. Alrighty, let's put the throttle body back on. Now let's go ahead and put the whole air intake assembly back together. Now let's take our freshly cleaned mass airflow sensor and put it back in the air intake tube. It's very important that when you put your mass airflow sensor in, especially on Fords, you make sure that your metal plate and your hot wires are facing down. Your metal plate needs to be facing down so your hot wires are facing towards the air filter. So it'll slide in like that. Now let's go ahead and put the screws back in. Well, there you have it, folks. That is how you clean the mass airflow sensor and the throttle body on a 2010 Ford Focus. And in just a little bit here in the video, I will be showing you how to do the same on a 2006 Ford Ranger. But before we get to that, I'm going to show you guys how to open up this little spot right here so we can give this car a seafoam spray treatment. This is great for cleaning off the deposits off of the upper cylinders. So like if you have a lot of carbon buildup up there, this is going to do a great job of taking that carbon off. Excuse me. And the way you do that is you spray it in at the engine about 500 RPMs above idle, let it hot soak for a little bit, then take it for an aggressive drive. It's actually kind of fun. So let's get to that part right now. So first step in getting the seafoam treatment happening is you got to start your car and bring it up to about 500 RPMs above idle. And right now we're sitting at about 900 RPMs, and that is factory idle for this car. So let's go ahead and use some pipe wrenches to weigh down the gas pedal to where we need it. So we've got the wrenches positioned in such a spot that we're holding 1500 RPMs, which is right where we want it. So now, I'm going to take our can of seafoam, give it a quick shake. Already got the straw fed in right behind the mass air sensor. That is the big important part, behind, not in front of, behind the mass air sensor. So the spray does not hit it and cause an issue. And then you're going to empty the whole can into the engine. There's going to be some blue smoke coming out of the exhaust, but that's normal. If the engine starts dying down a little bit, that's normal too. Just lay off the spray a little bit and it'll come back up to speed. Alrighty, so the seafoam has been applied and sprayed into the throttle body. And so the engine has taken in and absorbed it and burnt some of it up. And now we're going to let it hot soak for 10 minutes. And then we get to take it out and drive it aggressively for about 10 minutes. So while we let the car hot soak, I just wanted to show you again just how much grit and grime came out of the throttle body. That cloth right there, that paper towel, is just from where the throttle body cleaner dripped off of it. That brush, again, that was once upon a time like a grayish white, and all of these paper towels, obviously they were white as well. But man, I would highly recommend for anyone who is feeling ambitious enough to get themselves a can of this throttle body and air intake cleaner from CRC. They come in a little package together, both the mass air sensor cleaner and the throttle body cleaner. At Walmart, you can get them for like $7 or $8. And I highly recommend it just from cleaning the throttle body. It was quite intense. So that is my opinion on cleaning your throttle body. So now we're over here at my 2006 Ford Ranger, and we just took the Focus for a spin. And let me tell you, it felt like it responded a lot better and like it had a lot more low-end power. When you do take this out for a good run after you've given it the seafoam treatment, it will look like you're launching a space shuttle, that you will have a big plume of smoke coming out of it, but that's okay, that's very normal. So just punch it, get it up to high RPMs, because that's going to be blowing a bunch of that carbon in the upper cylinders out of there. So now, let's come back over to here. So first thing, just like we did with the Focus, we undid the bolts for the mass air sensor. We're going to slide that one out. Looks awfully familiar, doesn't it? Same thing. So we'll go ahead and unhook this. So just like before, we got our mass airflow sensor cleaner. Same thing, you got those little wires right in there, so we're going to hit those. Don't be shy about it. So that is all you really need. I'm just going to do the rest of the mass airflow sensor while we're at it. Make sure that it gets nice and clean. Next, while we let the mass airflow sensor dry, we're going to be pulling out these two 7mm bolts. Plain and simple. This is just a protective shroud for the throttle body. Nothing, it doesn't really serve much of a purpose other than maybe keep dirt off the throttle body itself. Come to find out, there's actually a third bolt that mounts right back here. That's this one right here. Next, we're going to remove the two band clamps right here that connect the air intake to the throttle body. And for these Ford Rangers that have the cruise control module over here that connects to the throttle right here, what you're going to do to remove those is you're going to push your throttle back and just push forward, and it's free. So that is your cruise control right there. Actually, this is a manual shift 4-liter V6 on this Ford Ranger. Next up, we're going to unhook our little tab right here that connects the throttle wire to the gas pedal. And the way to do that is bring this wire forward and it slides right out the side, and your throttle cables are free. Now we're going to undo these 5/16 bolts on all four corners of the throttle body itself after we remove this plug right here. Make sure, once again, that you remove your negative terminal on the truck. Well, it sure doesn't look quite as bad as the Focus's throttle body, but we're going to clean it up anyway, and we're also going to clean right inside that little air intake just to make absolutely certain that all of the nasty grit is out of there as much as it can be. Well, it's a lot better than it was, that is for sure. It had a yellowish, or the front had a yellowish tinge to it when I started. It's nice and metallic and nice and steel looking. Back was almost black, and it's back to its normal color. Pulled quite a bit of grit and grime out of the tube right here behind the throttle body. And here's my mountain of cloths, and mass air sensors still sitting there. And yeah, now it's time to put the throttle body back on and get this truck running so we can get the seafoam spray treatment going in it. So we got the cold air intake put back on, and we got the little straw for the seafoam spray treatment all set to go. And now it's just a matter of getting our mass air sensor back installed right there. And then we can start the truck up, warm it up, and hit it with the seafoam spray so we can get this truck all cleaned out from all those carbon deposits. Let's get to it on putting that mass airflow sensor back in. All right, guys, thanks so much for watching. To cap off that last clip I just showed you there, I did take my pickup for a run after that aggressive drive, and let me tell you, it made an enormous difference. I have so much acceleration out of that little 4-liter V6 that I have in that Ranger. Just brought it home here today, just got off work actually, but the seafoam treatment and that CRC mass air sensor and throttle body cleaner, can't recommend it enough because it for sure improved the responsiveness of the vehicle's engine in general. I totally recommend it. If your car's running a little rough, I would say give that a try, see how it does. Lastly, I just want to say thank you so much for sticking with me. It has been a really busy month for my wife and I. We just closed on our house that we're living in last week, so we've been a little hectic there. And finally, this video I actually recorded on Labor Day weekend. I am recording this little clip right now, right at the very tail end of September. So a little bit hectic, but hopefully I can get a little bit more content out for you guys so you can keep enjoying the videos. Looking to be building some shelving here in the garage a little bit, so stay tuned for that one. Eventually that'll be coming your way. But thanks again so much for watching. I appreciate everything. If you have any questions, feel free to leave them in the comments below. I'll try to answer them. And we'll see you in the next one. Take care, guys.